Stop chasing, start winning. The backwards law explained through samurai wisdom. Thomas Brennan stood on his Manhattan penthouse balcony at 3:47 a.m., unable to sleep for the fourth night in a row. He was 34, CEO of a $2.3 billion tech company, and according to Forbes, one of the most successful entrepreneurs under 40. He was also completely miserable. 12 years of 8, sacrificed relationships, missed life, all in pursuit of success. And he'd achieved it all, every goal crushed. Every metric exceeded, yet here he stood, feeling a hollow ache that no achievement could fill. His girlfriend Melissa had left 3 months ago. "You're not here, Thomas," she'd said. "Even when you're here, you're somewhere else, always chasing something." She was right, but he didn't know how to stop. His phone buzzed. A message from Richard Chen, his childhood friend who'd spent the last decade studying martial arts in Japan. "I'm in New York. Coffee tomorrow. I think you need to hear about the backwards law. Trust me on this." Thomas almost deleted it, but something made him respond. "Tomorrow, 2 p.m., our old coffee shop?" Richard replied instantly. "Perfect. Bring your biggest problem, the one keeping you up at night." Thomas looked at his reflection in the window, exhausted, aged beyond his years. His biggest problem? He had everything he'd ever chased, and it had brought him nothing but more things to chase. The coffee shop hadn't changed in 12 years. Richard was already there, looking, settled.com, like a structure built on bedrock rather than sand. "You look different," Thomas said, sitting down or something. Richard agreed. "How are you doing?" "I'm fine," Thomas said automatically. "Are you?" The simple question hit hard, because the truth was complicated, successful and miserable, wealthy and empty, winning and losing simultaneously. "I don't sleep anymore," Thomas admitted. 3, maybe 4 hours. "My doctor wants to prescribe something, but it's not stress. I don't know how to turn off the chasing." Richard nodded slowly. "Tell me about your last big win. The $500 million funding round. How did it feel?" "Good for about 20 minutes. Then I was already thinking about the next round. And before that, your first billion. Same pattern. Brief high, then back to the grind." "So you're chasing a finish line that keeps moving," Richard observed. "I'm tired, Richard. So fucking tired. But I can't stop. If I stop, what am I? That's the question." Richard pulled out a notebook and wrote something. "The more you chase something, the more it runs from you. The moment you stop chasing, it comes to you. That's paradoxical nonsense." Thomas said. Think about Melissa. Did she leave because you didn't care enough? Or because you cared too much?" Thomas's jaw tightened. "The more desperately you chased success, the more everything else ran from you." Richard continued. "Your relationship, your health, your peace. This is the backwards law, so I should just give up. No, you should stop chasing and start building. There's a difference. Chasing is desperate, anxious, future-focused. Building is patient, present, process-focused. Chasing repels. Building attracts. That's philosophy. Ideal in results. Then let's talk results. How many hours did you work last year? 3,000. Maybe more. Did your results triple?" Thomas paused. His best ideas rarely came during grinding sessions. They came in the shower, on rare walks, in moments when he stopped trying so hard. "You're optimizing the wrong variable," Richard said. "The backwards law says, the solution is less, not more. Letting go, not holding tighter. So work less and hope success finds me." Stop thinking about success at all. Focus on mastery. Focus on being present in what you're doing now, not fixated on the outcome. That sounds like giving up. It sounds like wisdom, but you're not ready yet. You're still too attached to your suffering. Richard held up his hand. "Think about it. Who is Thomas Brennan without his hustle? If you stopped chasing, who would you be?" Thomas didn't know. He'd been chasing so long he'd forgotten what stillness felt like. "I need to get back," Thomas said, standing. "Of course, another thing to chase." Richard stood too. "But here's what I'm offering. My teacher Takeda-sensei is giving a workshop on the backwards law. 5 days. Starting Monday. I got you a spot." "I can't possibly. Your empire is falling apart." "Thomas, not the company, you. When you collapse, and you will, everything collapses with you." Richard left money on the table. "Monday, 6 a.m. training hall in Brooklyn. Show up or don't. But if you do, come ready to be wrong about everything you think you know about success." He paused at the door. "One more thing Takeda told me. The rabbit that runs fastest toward the carrot never catches it. The rabbit that stops running finds the carrot, comes to him." That night, Thomas couldn't sleep again. But he kept reading a napkin Richard had left. "Stop chasing. Start living. Watch everything you want find you." Monday, 5:57 a.m. Thomas climbed stairs to a converted Brooklyn warehouse. A plain door, Takeda Dojo, by appointment only. Inside was empty space. Hardwood floors, paper screens, simple calligraphy. 6 people sat in a circle on cushions. Richard was among them. At the front sat an elderly Japanese man in black training clothes. Small, maybe 80, with penetrating eyes. "You are late," he said to Thomas. Thomas checked his watch. "It's 5:58. The workshop starts at 6. If you are not early, you are late." "Sit, Thomas," CEO of a billion-dollar company, felt irritated, but he sat for 5 days. You are not who you usually are, Takeda said. You are students, no titles, no achievements, only present, only learning. We start with truth. One sentence. Who are you and why are you here? Around the circle, Sarah, surgeon, burning out. Marcus, lawyer. 1. My dream case, felt empty. Rachel, teacher, forgot why I started. Kenneth, retired executive. They spent 40 years chasing, caught nothing. Elisa, artist, paint for critics now, not myself. Richard Chen, been practicing this 2 years. Then Thomas Brennan, tech CEO. I've been chasing success my whole life. Caught it, and it's a prison. I don't know how to stop. I don't know who I am without the chase. Takeda nodded. Good, you told truth. Most people lie. He stood. The backwards law is simple to state, hard to practice. Whatever you chase runs from you. Whatever you release comes to you. He let that sit. You want love? Chase love. Love runs. Be love. Love comes. You want success? Chase success. Success runs. Be excellent. Success comes. You want peace? Chase peace. Peace runs. Be present. Peace comes. Sarah raised her hand. How do you stop chasing something you need? Do you need to be good surgeon, or need to prove you are a good surgeon? 2 different things. First exercise, Takeda continued. Close your eyes. Think a thing you chase most desperately. Got it. Thomas thought of company valuation, net worth, Forbes list. Now ask, what am I afraid happens if I stop chasing? Thomas's mind flooded. Company fails. I lose everything. Become irrelevant. Prove doubters right. Feel that fear. That fear is your prison guard. You are not chasing success. You are running from failure. You are fleeing inadequacy. Takeda paused. The backwards law says, stop running. Face the fear. The thing you fear has already happened. What do you mean? Thomas asked. You fear failure? But you already failed. Built billion-dollar company. Feel empty? Is this not failure? You fear inadequacy. Feel inadequate despite achievement. Is this not inadequacy? The thing you run from already caught you. Silence. So what do we do? Marcus asked. Stop running. Turn and face. Sit with uncomfortable truth. Then build real life instead of running from false death. They spent the next hour sitting in meditation. Thomas's mind raced meetings, emails, problems. He was chasing even while sitting still. Notice the running, Takeda said. Your mind runs because you run. After meditation, Takeda had them write what they were chasing and why. Thomas filled pages. Chasing success to prove I'm not my father who died broke. Chasing wealth as protection from childhood poverty. Recognition to fill the hole parents never filled. Chasing constantly because stopping means feeling. By evening, Thomas was mentally exhausted, not from overwork, but from constant awareness, from trying to be present instead of chasing the next moment. Homework, Takeda said. Right answer. What would I do differently if I stopped chasing and started building? That night, Thomas wrote, work on things that matter. Not impress, make decisions from vision. Not fear, value process over outcomes, measure success by fulfillment. Not metrics, build relationships instead of networks. Be present with my team, choose quality over quantity. Live instead of achieving. He added one more line. Become who I was before I forgot who I wanted to be. Tuesday morning, Takeda began with a demonstration. He held up a pen. Everyone, grip this as hard as you can in your mind. Imagine you must never let go. This pen is your success, your achievement, your identity. Hold tight. They all visualized gripping tightly. Feel the tension, the fear of losing. Now release. Let go completely. Everyone relaxed. Which felt better, holding or releasing? Releasing, they all said. Yet you spend your lives holding tight. Today we learn, what you grip tightly slips away. What you hold lightly stays forever. He demonstrated with water. Cupped hands, water stayed. Clenched fists, water escaped. Life is like water. Success is like water. Love is like water. The tighter you grip, the faster it flows away. They practiced physical exercises holding tension, releasing. Each time, release brought relief. Yet each time, the instinct was to grip tighter. Your body knows truth, your mind denies. Said release is better than control. Trust is better than force. Allowing is better than pushing. That afternoon, they practiced strategic surrender, identifying one thing each was desperately trying to control, then deliberately letting it go. Thomas chose his company's stock price. He checked it dozens of times daily. Each fluctuation triggered anxiety. For today, do not check, Takeda instructed. Trust it will be what it will be. Your checking changes nothing, only creates suffering. Thomas's hand reached for his phone 17 times that afternoon. Each time, he stopped himself. By evening, he felt lighter, freer. The stock price existed whether he watched it or not. His watching was just anxious, chasing, disguised as diligence. Tomorrow, Takeda said, We learn the hardest lesson, how to win by not trying to win. Wednesday began with a story. In ancient Japan, Takeda said two archers competed. First archer aimed carefully, tried hard, desperately wanted to win, missed target. Second archer became one with bow, forgot about winning, released arrow naturally. Perfect bullseye. He paused. The first archer's problem was not lack of skill. It was too much wanting. The trying itself created tension. The tension created failure. This is the great paradox, Takeda continued. There are two kinds of effort. Desperate effort, ensis, attached to outcome. Natural effort, tetst, focused, detached from outcome. Same action, completely different results. They practiced archery that morning. Those who tried hardest, missed most. Those who relaxed into the process, trusting their training, hit the target. Thomas tried desperately on his first 3 arrows. All missed. On the 4th, exhausted, he stopped trying so hard. Just drew, breathed, released. Bullseye. See, Takeda smiled. The moment you stopped chasing the target, the arrow found it. That afternoon, they discussed application to real life. In your work, Takeda said to Thomas, you try very hard to make companies successful. The trying itself creates problems. Desperate energy repels investors, customers, employees. They sense the need, the grasping, they pull away. So I should stop caring about success? Thomas asked. No, stop caring about succeeding. Care about building excellently. Care about serving customers completely. Care about leading with wisdom. Success will be an inevitable side effect. But how do you know? Because this is natural law. Like gravity, you do not make plant grow by pulling on it. You create right conditions, soil, water, sun, then trust. Same with success. Create right conditions through excellent work, then trust. Thursday focused on practical application. You have learned principles, Takeda said. Now we practice building instead of chasing. What is difference? Chasing, focused, on outcome anxious and desperate never enough externally, driven comparative obsessed ex-housting, focused on process gem and steady inherently, satisfying internally driven self-referential princintori energizing. When you chase, you ask, when will I arrive? When you build, you ask, what can I create today? They spent the day redesigning their approaches to work and life. Thomas realized his entire business strategy was based on chasing growth targets, market share, valuations. What if instead he focused purely on building the best possible product, the best possible team, the best possible culture? But investors expect growth, Thomas protested. Do they expect desperate growth or natural growth? Takeda asked. A tree that grows naturally becomes strong. A tree forced to grow quickly becomes weak. Your investors want strong company, not fast-dying company. Thomas saw it clearly. His desperate pursuit of growth was actually undermining the company, cutting corners, burning out his team, sacrificing quality for speed. What if, he said slowly, what if I just focused on being the best at what we do, and let growth be a natural result of that excellence? Now you understand backwards law, Takeda smiled. Friday, the final day. They gathered one last time. You have learned, Takeda began. But learning is not transformation. Transformation comes from practice, from taking these principles into your life and living them daily. You looked at each of them. The backwards law is not technique, it is way of being. You cannot use it sometimes. You must become it. The 5 principles. 1. What you chase runs from you. Stop. Pursuing outcomes. Focus on process and presence. Trust that right action leads to right results. 2. What you grip tightly slips away. Hold everything lightly. Release. Need to control. Allow life to flow naturally. 3. Desperate effort fails. Natural effort succeeds. Work hard, but not anxiously. Care about excellence. Not succeeding. Relax into your competence. For the obstacle is wanting. The obstacle gonna accept what is that. Resisting reality. Find peace in the present moment. 5. You already have what you seek. Peace is here now. If you stop chasing it, success is inevitable. If you stop forcing it, love is present. If you stop grasping for it, these principles sound simple, Takeda said. But living them is lifelong practice. You will forget. You will chase again. You will grip tightly. When you notice, simply return. This returning is the practice. He stood. He came here seeking answers. I give you instead a better question. What if everything you want is already available when you stop chasing it? They sat with that question. Then Takeda bowed. Workshop is complete. But your practice begins now. Go. Stop chasing. Start living. Watch what finds you. Thomas returned to his company on Monday morning, but he was different. His first meeting was with his executive team. Usually, he dominated these meetings, pushing, demanding, chasing results. Today, he just listened. What do we need to build the best product in our space? He asked. Not the fastest growing, not the most valuable, the best. His team stared at him. Are you feeling okay? Jennifer asked. I'm feeling clear. For the first time in years, I'm clear. We've been chasing growth. What if we just built something remarkable and let growth chase us? The conversation that followed was different from any they'd had. Less pressure, more creativity, less fear, more possibility. After the meeting, Jennifer pulled him aside. What happened to you? I learned that I've been running a race with no finish line. I'm choosing a different race, which is the race to become excellent at what we do. Not the race to become the biggest or richest. Just the best. 90 days after the workshop, Thomas's life was unrecognizable. He worked fewer hours, but accomplished more. He stopped checking stock prices obsessively. He stopped comparing his company to competitors. He stopped chasing the next milestone. Instead, he focused entirely on building the best product his team could create, the best culture where people could thrive, the best customer experience in the industry, and something remarkable happened. The company started growing faster than when he was desperately chasing growth. Customers noticed the quality improvement. Employees stopped burning out. Innovation accelerated. Investors were initially concerned about his lack of urgency, but within 2 months, they were praising his strategic patience and mature leadership. The stock price, which he no longer checked daily, had climbed 40%. But more importantly, Thomas was sleeping 8 hours a night. He'd started dating again, a woman named Claire, who appreciated that he was present during their dates. He'd reconnected with old friends. He kept in touch with his workshop group. They met monthly to practice the principles together. Sarah, the surgeon, had cut her hours by 30% but reported better patient outcomes. I'm not chasing being the best anymore. I'm just being fully present with each patient. It's made me better. Marcus, the lawyer, had left his high-pressure firm to start a smaller practice focused on cases he cared about. I make less money. I've never been happier. Kenneth, the retired executive, was mentoring young entrepreneurs. I'm finally doing what I should have done 40 years ago, helping others instead of chasing status. 6 months after the workshop, Thomas received a letter from Takeda-sensei. It was handwritten in Japanese, with English translation. Dear Thomas, when you came to workshop, you were man who had everything and nothing. Man chasing his own shadow, getting exhausted, wondering why shadow always stayed ahead. I see from Richard that you have stopped chasing shadow, that you have become light itself. This is true success. Remember, backwards law is not one-time learning. It is daily practice. Every day, you must choose, chase or build, grip or release, force or allow, resist or accept, become or already be. The chasing mind will return. This is natural. When it does, remember the archer, the one who tried to hit target, missed. The one who forgot about target, hit bullseye. You are the archer. Life is the target. Stop aiming. Just shoot. With respect, Takeda. Thomas pinned the letter to his office wall. On days when the old patterns crept back, the desperate pushing, the anxious checking, the compulsive comparing, he read it. Then he took a breath, released the grip, and returned to building. Epilogue. 1 year later, Thomas stood on his penthouse balcony again. But this time, it was 6:30 p.m., not 3:47 a.m. This time he was watching the sunset, not unable to sleep. Claire was inside, making dinner. They were moving in together next month. For the first time in his adult life, Thomas was building a relationship instead of chasing success. His phone buzzed. An email from a journalist requesting an interview about his company's remarkable transformation. From desperate unicorn to sustainable empire. How did you do it? Thomas smiled. How did he do it? By stopping doing? By releasing instead of gripping. By building instead of chasing. The backwards law had proven true. The moment he stopped chasing success, success found him. The moment he stopped gripping tightly, everything stayed. The moment he stopped trying desperately, he succeeded naturally. The moment he accepted what was, everything transformed. The moment he stopped running, he arrived. He walked back inside, left his phone on the counter, and sat down to dinner with Claire. Present, unhurried, not chasing the next moment, just being. And in that being, he had everything he'd spent 12 years desperately chasing. The backwards law wasn't paradox. It was truth. Stop chasing. Start living. Watch everything you want find you. The backwards law. Complete principles, core truth. Whatever you chase runs from you. Whatever you release comes to you. The 5 laws. 1. The law of reverse efforts. The harder you try to force an outcome, the more it resists natural effort succeeds. Desperate effort fails. Relax into your competence. 2. The law of release. What you grip tightly slips away. What you hold lightly stays forever. Control is illusion. Trust is wisdom. 3. The law of non-pursuit. Chasing repels. Building attracts. Focus on process, not outcome. Become excellent. Let success find you. For the law of accept. You resist, persist. What you accept transforms. Comes from embracing what is. 5. The law of already having. You have what you seek when you stop. Seeking the obstacle is wanting. The obstacle gun arrival happens when you stop. Running daily practice. Morning. Ask, what am I chasing today? Shift 2. What am I building today? During work, notice desperation and grasping. Return to natural effort. Trust the process. Evening. Reflect. Where did I chase? Where did I build? Release what cannot be controlled. Appreciate what is the ultimate lesson. The rabbit, running fastest toward the carrot, never catches it. The rabbit that stops running finds the carrot, comes to him. Be the second rabbit. Stop chasing. Start winning.